Welcome, future millionaires, to Reset Mindset. Today, we're going to talk about something that can totally flip your life around. We're diving into the story of a guy who became one of the wealthiest people on the planet. Ever heard of Ray Dalio? He's not just rich. He's a true master of life. Why? Because he figured out the principles of winning, and then he actually lived by them. Most folks just drift through their days, no real hope, no clear plan. But winners? They live by a precise set of rules. That's the difference. Today, I'm going to lay out those rules for you. Once you get this knowledge, your life won't be the same. Are you ready? Are you tough enough to hear some hard truths? Let's get into it. Ray Dalio wasn't born into some fancy family. He grew up in a regular home in New York. His dad was a musician, not rich. Ray didn't have any special talents either, but at just 12 years old, he started buying stocks. Guess how much he started with? Just $300. He earned that money busting his butt, caddying at a golf course. The first stock he bought was a company called Northeast Airlines. Want to know why he picked that one? It was the only company he knew about. Sounds kind of funny, right? But that stock tripled. Why? Pure luck. The company got acquired. Dalio himself later admitted, "I just got lucky. I didn't know anything." How's your life looking right now? Are you counting on luck? Or do you have some rules you live by? People who rely on luck will never truly be free. Only those who live by rules can find that freedom. And today, you're about to get your hands on those rules. In 1975, Dalio graduated college, and he made a huge move. He started his own company, Bridgewater Associates. Where do you think he started? Some fancy office? Nope. Right out of his apartment bedroom. Most people wait until they feel ready. That's a loser's excuse. Winners start right now. The location doesn't matter. Only action does. Your life isn't going to change tomorrow. It's going to change today. What was Dalio's first gig? He sold investment advice to big companies, and little by little, the business grew. He started writing a report called Daily Observations. Big names like McDonald's and Pfizer became his clients. Things were looking up. Almost too good. And that's where the trap is. Success can be like a drug. It makes you drop your guard, puts you to sleep, and it ruins those who aren't ready. In the early 1980s, Dalio made a bold prediction. He was convinced the American economy was heading for its biggest crisis since the Great Depression, and he bet everything on that prediction. What happened? He was dead wrong. The market did the exact opposite of what he thought. Dalio lost almost all his money. He had to fire his employees. Eventually, he was so broke, he had to borrow $4,000 from his dad just to cover living expenses. "I was completely wiped out," he said. "It felt like I'd been hit by a hammer." Have you ever been there? Lost everything, hit rock bottom? If not, it's a sign you haven't truly grown yet. Because to become a winner, you often have to lose it all at least once. This is a tough truth many people can't accept. The path to success always goes through the valley of death. Most people see that valley and run, but winners keep pushing through it. Most people would have given up after that failure. They would have gone looking for a safe job. Average folks hide their failures. Winners learn from them deeply. What did Dalio do? He completely reevaluated his way of thinking. "The most important thing I learned was how ignorant I was," he said. From this humble realization, he started writing down his principles. At first, they were just notes. He analyzed his patterns of failure and success. What kind of thinking led to good results? What kind of thinking led to failure? I wanted to learn from every mistake and make sure I never made the same mistake twice. Where are your principles? You probably don't even keep a journal. Most people are driven by emotion. Winners are driven by rules. That's the line between success and failure. Starting today, you should start writing your own rules. After this failure and reflection, Dalio started rebuilding his company from scratch. This time, he didn't rely on emotion or his own assumptions. He used a method based on data and historical patterns. He meticulously studied over 300 years of economic data. He built his own models for how the economy worked. In 1991, Dalio started the Pure Alpha Fund. This fund used investment strategies that adapted to economic changes, aiming for better results than traditional investments. What happened? Bridgewater became the #1 investment firm in the world. Today, it's a massive company managing around $150 billion. Why did Dalio succeed big on his second try? Because he trusted proven rules, not his own gut feelings. What do you trust? Your gut? Or proven rules? People who rely on gut feelings will never truly be free. Only those with rules can gain real freedom. Dalio's principles were born from his biggest failure. In 2017, they were published as the book Principles. That book became a global bestseller. Why was it so widely embraced? Because it was a concrete roadmap to success. It provided guidelines for thinking and acting based on principles, not emotions. So let's look at his core ideas. These are the keys that can change your life too. Just be brave enough to accept some hard truths. 1. Embrace radical truth. Dalio talks about the importance of being a radical realist. What does that mean? It means having the courage to look at reality straight on. The strength to face it, no matter how uncomfortable the truth is. Turning away from uncomfortable truths just weakens you. Average people prefer comfortable lies. They tell themselves what they want to hear and avoid looking at reality. Winners seek out painful truths. They know it's the only way to grow. Which one are you? Are you facing your current reality head-on? Are you satisfied with your salary, your health, your relationships, your abilities? Answer honestly. Don't lie. Lying to yourself is the most toxic poison. Success won't come to those who can't be honest with themselves. This is Dalio's first rule. Look at your reality hard. 2. Radical truth, radical transparency. This might sound like a fancy phrase, but the essence is simple. Radical truth means relentlessly pursuing what's real. Radical transparency means hiding nothing. By openly discussing even the toughest truths, you find problems faster and come up with better solutions. Lying or hiding important things destroys trust and prevents effective collaboration. At Bridgewater, every meeting is recorded, and all employees can listen. Employees are encouraged to speak their minds, no matter their position. How about your company? Can you speak your true opinion in front of your boss? Can you tell your colleagues what you really think? Organizations that run from the truth will eventually die. The same goes for individuals. Have the courage to pursue truth and ensure transparency. Don't hide information. This is the second rule for success. Truth and transparency are your strongest weapons. 3. Idea meritocracy. The best ideas win. At the heart of Dalio's business philosophy is an idea meritocracy. This is a system where the best ideas are evaluated and adopted, regardless of the status or power of the person who suggested them. Dalio believes the best decisions are made through open and honest debate, where everyone can express their thoughts candidly, and the best ideas prevail. At Bridgewater, even new hires are encouraged to challenge the opinions of executives. Dalio himself is always aware that his own ideas might be wrong and is open to criticism from others. Our goal, he says, is not to find out who is right, but what is right. What about your environment? Are the best ideas valued? Or is it a system where the powerful get their way? If it's the latter, you either need to escape it or change it. True winners don't thrive in corrupt systems like that. To practice an idea meritocracy, first, ditch your ego. Accept the possibility that you might be wrong, and then chase after the best ideas. Focus on what was said, not who said it. This is the third rule for success. Let go of your pride and only pursue the best ideas. 4. Pain plus reflection equals progress. This is Dalio's most famous equation. Pain plus reflection equals progress. Memorize it right now. It's a fundamental law of life. The most valuable lessons in life come from experiencing failures and difficulties. But simply failing isn't enough. You have to learn from that failure, reflect deeply on it, and use it to inform future decisions. Many people become defensive when they fail or receive criticism. They try to justify themselves. This is the biggest obstacle to growth. It's a typical reaction for average people. Winners humbly accept failure and reflect deeply. They learn and grow from it. After a failure, you have two choices. One is to avoid the pain and repeat the same mistakes. The other is to embrace the pain and learn from it. Choose the latter, and you'll become stronger and wiser. Which will you choose? Avoid the pain or embrace it? No growth for those who fear pain. Starting today, don't fear failure. Instead, fear not learning from failure. That's the scariest true failure. Start a failure journal. Record all your failures and learn from them. This is the fourth rule for success. Let failure be your teacher and pain the fuel for your growth. 5. The 5-step process to learning from failure. Dalio teaches a simple 5-step process for problem solving that leads to success. He created this method through his own repeated failures and successes. Using these steps will dramatically boost your problem-solving abilities. 1. Set clear goals. By making your goals clear, you always know where you're headed. Without goals, you're going nowhere. Vague goals are an excuse for inaction. I'll try harder. I want to be better. Those are the words of weak people. Express it with concrete numbers. Set a deadline. Lose 10 pounds in 3 months. Increase my salary by 20% in a year. Only clear goals like these will drive you to action. 2. Identify and don't tolerate problems. Problems are opportunities for progress. It's crucial to recognize problems and be determined to solve them. Many people avoid looking at problems. They don't want to admit there's an issue. That's a sign of weakness. Have the courage to face problems directly, and don't tolerate them by saying, "It can't be helped." "It can't be helped" is a loser's phrase. Make a problem list. Write down every obstacle that's holding you back from your goals right now. 3. Get to the root cause of the problem. It's vital to address the fundamental cause, not just the surface symptoms. Understand deeply why the problem occurred. Keep asking why over and over again. This is the most effective way to get to the root cause. For example, why can't I save money? Why do I spend so much? Why do I waste money? Why do I give in to impulses? Why do I need to validate myself with things? Only by digging deep like this can the real cause finally become clear. 4. Create a plan to solve the problem. Once you understand the root cause, create a concrete plan to address it. Consider multiple options. Choose the best one and create a detailed action plan. Who will you ask for help? What do you need to learn? What's the timeline? Without a plan, there's no success. Make a plan that's specific and actionable. 5. Execute the plan and achieve results. Do what's necessary to carry out the plan and get results. Ultimately, action is everything. Even the best plan is useless if it's not executed. Act now. Not tomorrow, but right now. Even a small step is fine. Just start moving. And don't give up halfway. See it through until you get results. This is the biggest difference between winners and losers. This process led Dalio back to success. You can do it too. Grab a pen and paper right now and start practicing this process. Ray Dalio isn't just an investor. He's a lifelong learner. His learning methods are also filled with unique insights and deep wisdom. If you understand these rules, your learning ability will skyrocket. 1. The learning cycle, a golden rule for knowledge absorption. Dalio's learning cycle is simple but powerful. It consists of 5 steps for learning. First, set a goal. Next, gather information relevant to that goal. Then, analyze the gathered information and internalize it. Practice that knowledge, and finally, reflect on the results. By repeating this cycle, knowledge transforms into actual skills. Many people are content just gathering information. This is a fatal mistake. True knowledge is born from practice and reflection. Winners turn learning into action. Losers are satisfied just gathering information. Which are you? Are you practicing what you're learning right now? Or are you just gathering information? No true learning without action. Starting today, immediately put what you learn into practice. 2. The power of questions. The strongest tool for accelerated learning. Dalio emphasizes the power of questions. Asking questions is the beginning of learning. If you don't ask, you won't get answers. The most powerful question is, why? By repeating it, you can move from superficial understanding to deep insight. He encourages a culture of questioning at Bridgewater. They create an environment where everyone can ask questions, and admitting ignorance is seen not as embarrassing, but as an opportunity for growth. Admitting ignorance isn't weakness, it's a sign of strength. Those who think they know everything are truly ignorant. Average people are ashamed to ask questions. They don't want to admit they don't know something. Winners constantly ask questions and keep learning, acknowledging their ignorance and turning it into knowledge. Are you asking questions? Are you honestly admitting what you don't know? Starting today, have the courage to say, I don't know, and keep asking questions. That's the shortest path to accelerated learning. 3. Information is power. Strategies for information gathering and knowledge utilization. Dalio is a master of information gathering and knowledge utilization. The quality of decision-making is directly linked to the quality of available information. That's why I gather data from as many reliable sources as possible and integrate it into my models, he says. He spends hours every day reading, conversing with experts in various fields, and constantly updating his knowledge. But he doesn't just gather information. He has a system to apply that information to actual decision-making. Information has no value if it's not used. It's important to have a system that converts knowledge into actual decisions and actions. Average people consume information passively. Winners strategically gather and utilize information. How's your information gathering? Are you just scrolling through social media? Or are you purposefully gathering and utilizing knowledge? Starting today, gather information strategically and create a system to convert that knowledge into actual action. 4. Mental models. Frameworks for understanding the world. Dalio emphasizes the importance of learning and combining mental models from various fields. Learning only from one field is dangerous, he says. By gaining knowledge from various fields and combining them, you can make better decisions. He learns not only from economics, but also from psychology, history, biology, and various other fields. Mental models are frameworks for thinking about how the world works. For example, compounding, opportunity cost, evolution, and game theory are examples of mental models. By understanding these models and applying them in appropriate situations, you can make better judgments. The more diverse your mental models, the more accurately you can understand the world. Average people see things from only one perspective. Winners analyze things from multiple perspectives. Are you learning from various fields, or are you stuck in just one? Starting today, begin reading books from different fields. Learn various mental models, and your thinking will expand and your judgment will sharpen. 5. Knowledge sharing. Multiplying learning. Dalio believes that sharing knowledge accelerates learning. By teaching something, your own understanding deepens. When you try to explain something, you see the holes in your own understanding, he says. That's why I always try to share what I've learned. He published Principles to enable more people to succeed by sharing his own learning. I've made many mistakes in my life and learned valuable lessons from them, he says. My hope is that others can learn from my mistakes and grow without experiencing the same pain. By not monopolizing knowledge, but by sharing it, mutual growth accelerates. Average people hide knowledge. Winners share knowledge and expand the circle of learning. Are you teaching what you've learned to anyone? Starting today, make it a habit to share what you learn with at least one person. That's the secret to multiplying your learning. Dalio's philosophy goes beyond just investing and learning. It's a universal wisdom that applies to life as a whole. Let's look at his life philosophy, drawn from his podcasts, interviews, and writings. Practicing these will significantly improve the quality of your life. 1. Understand the seasons of life and act accordingly. Dalio emphasizes the importance of thinking about life in terms of seasons. Life has different seasons. Youth is a time to learn and take risks. Middle age is a time to hone your skills and create value. And old age is a time to share your wisdom and pass it on to the next generation. He himself handed over the top leadership position at his company and is now transitioning into a mentorship role. He believes this is the best decision for both his organization and himself. We always need to know what season of our life we are in and embrace the roles and responsibilities that come with it. What season are you in now? Are you acting accordingly? If you're young, are you only seeking safety? Are you stuck in the status quo without challenging yourself? If you're older, have you stopped learning? Are you afraid of change? Accurately grasp the season of your life and adopt the right strategy. Take risks when you're young. You have time to recover from failures. In middle age, deepen your expertise and expand your relationships. Maximize your value. In old age, pass on your wisdom to the next generation and build your legacy. 2. Simultaneously pursue personal and collective growth. Dalio believes that individual success and societal progress are closely linked. Individual growth is achieved by enhancing your own abilities and making better decisions. Collective growth is achieved by sharing various perspectives and learning from each other. The best results emerge when these two are in harmony. When he built Bridgewater's culture, he centered this rule, creating a system that simultaneously promoted individual growth and the growth of the entire organization. Does your environment promote growth? Do the people around you elevate you? If not, don't hesitate to change your environment. Environment is destiny. If you're not in a growth-oriented environment, you won't grow either. This is an absolute law. Find growth-minded allies. Build relationships where you can elevate each other and contribute not only to your own growth, but also to the growth of the collective. That's the condition for a true winner. 3. A machine-like view of the world. See the law of cause and effect. Dalio has a unique perspective of the world as a machine. According to him, reality is a complex web of cause and effect, a system where inputs produce outputs. By understanding the world as a machine, you can clearly grasp the relationship between cause and effect and make better decisions. It's important to objectively analyze reality without being swayed by personal likes, dislikes, or emotions. This perspective is Dalio's fundamental approach when analyzing the economy and markets. Average people react to superficial phenomena. Winners understand the system and see the underlying causes. For example, let's say you're not getting results at work. On the surface, you might think it's bad luck or that your boss is incompetent. But the real causes might be a lack of skill, insufficient preparation, or poor communication. Every outcome in life has a cause. Understand that cause and effect relationship. That way, the necessary inputs to get the desired results will become clear. 4. The rule of evolve or die. Don't fear change. It's the only law of survival. Dalio emphasizes the rule of evolve or die. This is a universal law of nature. It's the idea that you must constantly learn, adapt, and evolve, or you'll be eliminated. In nature, species that can't adapt go extinct. Similarly, in business and personal life, adapting to change and continuously learning is the key to survival and success. At Bridgewater, he constantly explores new ideas and encourages continuous evolution, never resting on past successes. Average people like to stay in their comfort zones. They fear change and seek stability. Winners always seek evolution. They embrace uncomfortable changes and see them as opportunities for growth. What about you? What have you learned this past year? What have you challenged? How have you evolved? If you haven't evolved, you're as good as dead. Evolve little by little every day. Learn new skills, build new relationships, adopt new ways of thinking. That's the only way to survive. So far, we've explored Dalio's rules and philosophy, but knowledge alone changes nothing. Action is everything. So, how can you integrate Dalio's rules into your own life? I'm going to give you concrete ways to do it. Act now. Tomorrow is too late. First, create your own personal principles to guide your daily decisions. Just like Dalio, create and write down your own principles. Learn from your experiences and put them into rules that will guide your future decisions. This way you can continuously grow without repeating the same mistakes. The method is simple. Get a notebook, title it, My Principles. Write down your successful experiences and your failed experiences. Extract the lessons learned from each experience. Generalize them into rules. Review and update this regularly. For example, don't make important decisions when you're emotional. Prioritize objective judgment over others' opinions. Choose long-term benefits over short-term pain. Read this set of rules regularly and let it guide your daily decisions. Just doing this will significantly improve the quality of your judgment. Next, develop the habit of facing uncomfortable truths. If you're unhappy with your current situation, first, honestly face your circumstances. Feeling dissatisfied or anxious is natural, but ignoring it or blaming others won't solve the problem. Once a week, set aside reality check time. During this time, honestly ask yourself, what problems was I running from this week? What weaknesses of mine was I ignoring? Was I avoiding my responsibility by blaming someone else? What uncomfortable truths am I refusing to acknowledge? Write these down and face them head on. Then, think about solutions. If you don't have the courage to face reality, you won't generate the power to change it. Third, practice pain plus reflection equals progress by keeping a failure journal. When you experience failure or setbacks, most people try to avoid the pain. But instead, you should thoroughly utilize that pain as an opportunity for learning. Start a failure journal. The format is like this. What happened? Why did it happen? What should I do next time? For example, I failed a presentation. Fact. I couldn't answer questions, and the audience looked bored. Cause. Lack of preparation, insufficient practice, content didn't meet audience needs. Improvement plan. Narrow the content, practice 3 times, research audience interests beforehand. If you continue this habit, your growth rate will increase incredibly. Don't fear failure. Instead, fear not learning from it. Fourth, create your own idea meritocracy and escape echo chambers. Actively seek out conversations with people who have different opinions and perspectives than you. Echo chambers, where you only talk to like-minded people, are dangerous. They are the kiss of spiritual death. The best ideas come from the intersection of various perspectives. As a practice, do this. Once a month, Read a book outside your area of expertise. Consciously interact with people who have different political or social views than you. Regularly set aside time to ask for opposing views and have someone challenge your thinking. Always assume there's at least a 10% chance that your own ideas are wrong. This will make your thinking more flexible and help you arrive at better ideas. Let go of your pride and only pursue what's true. That's the path to the best decisions. Finally, to build a resilient life, design an all-weather life. Dalio's concept of an all-weather portfolio can be applied not only to investing, but also to life design. Life has various weathers, booms and busts, success and failure. Design your life to be able to handle all situations. Specifically, develop both specialized and broad general knowledge, build multiple skills, create multiple income streams, main job, side gigs, investments, build relationships with people from diverse industries, age groups, and backgrounds, and simultaneously pursue physical, mental, and financial well-being. Always have a backup plan for the worst-case scenario. Average people put all their eggs in one basket. Winners always have multiple options. If you design an all-weather life, you can survive any storm. And after the storm, opportunities will always emerge. Be ready to seize those opportunities. Ray Dalio's life is not just a success story. It's a narrative that demonstrates the power of learning from failure, building principles, and acting based on them. Perhaps his greatest contribution is the very concept of principles. The method of learning from experience, systematizing that learning and using it to guide future decisions, is a universal wisdom applicable to any field. I've made many mistakes in my life and learned valuable lessons from them, he says. My hope is that you all can learn from my mistakes and grow faster without experiencing the same pain. By incorporating his teachings into your life, you too can face tough truths, learn from your failures, and continuously evolve. That is the path to becoming a winner in life. The greatest tragedy in life is missing out on opportunities for growth by trying to escape pain. The wisest people know that pain shouldn't be feared. It should be used as fuel for growth. So, start today. What are you waiting for? Tomorrow might not come. Act now, at this very moment. That's the only difference between winners and average people. To act or not to act, the choice is yours. Your choices determine your destiny. In the description below, I've linked to Dalio's book and videos. The book is pretty pricey, but consider if you're spending on drinks or investing in your future. And for the videos, you absolutely have to watch How the Economic Machine Works in 30 Minutes. It's probably the most understandable masterpiece on economics in the world. Thanks again for watching all the way to the end. See you in the next video.